I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
well, John here decided to interview.
We're gonna turn this around. John, you just interview Arinka there. Ask the most embarrassing questions that you possibly can.
I don't agree.
Oh, wait a minute. Were you there when she did the Woody joke?
The what? The which?
The Woody joke.
Oh, the Woody joke. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, okay. They sent Miss Arinka after a gentleman named Woody. And what did you say, Arinka? I want you.
I can't repeat it. I mean, there might be children watching. Come on.
Woody grabber.
She said, I'll be the Woody grabber. Now, you have to realize...
Arinka's from Europe.
Arinka's from Europe. And she thought Woody was just a regular name until everybody laughed. And she looked and realized, I did something wrong.
It's a euphemism. It's a euphemism.
Which was explained to her shortly thereafter.
Yes, which made her blush. All right, you done embarrassing me in front of the whole...
That was a great job, John. We could have come out with anything that would have got her any better than that. All right.
Are you done embarrassing me live on VRadio for the world to see?
Yes. Okay. We'll send this around the world, and it'll save countless, thousands of other people from making the same faux pas, the same mistake.
That's right.
You've been sacrificed.
You've been sacrificed. Yeah.
I've been burned on the altar. All right, well, let's get back to serious shit. It doesn't get more serious than music, right? That's why we're in the music industry.
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Yes, I was just being sarcastic. That's why I love this industry. It's fun. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but it's all worth it. I mean, if you line everything up. And I'm here with John, who just told me it's his second day in Nashville.
Day 2 living here, yeah.
Oh man, that was an awesome set too. We didn't record that. I wish we had. We will get some of your stuff up.
All right, sure.
Yeah, cool. So, second day here. Where from?
I'm from a town called Lafayette, Indiana.
There's a Lafayette in
Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah.
So this one
they pronounce it differently down there. They call it Lafayette.
Okay.
But it's Lafayette, named after the same guy.
Okay.
The Marquis Day.
Well, that's what I thought. Well, I mean, in French it's Lafayette. Well, anyway, for our French listening people, we're like probably at the number of 0.0.
No. Thousands and thousands.
Cool. So, did you come and do trips before to see if you wanted to move, or you just were bold enough to pack your car with all your gear and just?
A little bit of both, I guess. I have a lot of friends here. I've spent a lot of time just visiting friends in the past. A little bit of time playing music here.
Musicians?
Yeah, musician friends from here and people who have moved here from the Midwest, where I'm from, and then other parts of the country.
So where did you meet those people?
Landed just driving around the country playing my songs.
So you kind of did a little improvised national tour?
Well, yeah, I guess maybe 40 or 50 of them.
40 states?
40 or 50. I think it's the number of states is like 30 something, but yeah, I've been touring since I was like 17 or something.
Oh wow, how
26 now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but so I've spent a lot of time in Nashville.
That's bold, isn't it?
And it's kind of been on the back of my brain for about a year and a half or two to move here.
So did you tour in California, northern states?
I've never played music in California, but I've gotten as far as west as Arizona and some of the middle, middle western states like Colorado.
Oh, good. Well, I like this because we got someone who spent time on the road and who's been sharing his music with a lot of different audiences. So this is the perfect opportunity to ask, what is the kind of different reception you can feel from all these different audiences and vibes, and what led you to choose Nashville? Is it more for the recording side of things, or do you feel the audience here is different and appreciates different music? I mean, I'm curious, and I'm sure plenty of people are. So.
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually, of all the places I've been, nothing's felt no city's felt like quite as sort of familiar and comfortable, just like going into it, I suppose. Yeah, and just the fact that I have a lot of friends who have sort of ended up here makes it kind of seem like I don't know. I could go somewhere, just like anywhere in the city maybe, and then run into somebody that I knew, and so it was kind of.
So do you know people in LA? Do you know people in New York? Do you know people in Chicago? In Austin? Do you know people there too?
Right, yeah.
Yeah?
People that have met in those places, and then also have moved there from from kind of
Yeah.
the area
So
that I live in.
why here then? If you
Why
have
here? Well, I don't know. It's a combination of reasons.
Because I mean,
It was
John
kind of a
would
toss-up.
define.
It was kind of a toss-up for me between Minneapolis, which is also a really great city,
Yeah.
and Milwaukee, also a really cool city, different flavor altogether, and then Nashville. Those are the
Very friendly. I was surprised when I was up in the Twin Cities.
yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But the winters are brutal.
Oh,
And
God awful.
I'm from the Midwest already. I've lived there my whole life, but I've never been able to stand the winters. Like it's just.
So talking about flavors, you'd say like over there is more like a frappuccino, and here it's more like a butter pecan kind of thing.
Yeah, or a bourbon whiskey. I don't know.
There we go.
Maybe that's just my impression. But
Sure, because John, you would define your music. You said it's pop, right?
Pop
That's,
music,
yeah. So
roots, American roots music, but
Folk
pop.
pop?
Yeah, folk,
Folk pop.
sometimes folksy.
singable, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So Nashville. What do you feel about the difference in the audiences? I'm kind of like still on my hungry to hear about the differences in, how is the audience in Arizona respond to your music? How does the audience in northern state is it really dramatically different, or would you say it's just more or less people woohoo cheering, singing along, whatever?
Well, it's been kind of an interesting mixture in Nashville of people. Like it seems like every other person you meet is kind of potentially some world-class player, some
I know.
virtuoso.
It's embarrassing to tell you play guitar, because like people here when you say that you play guitar,
Right.
they
there's-
really know how to play.
Yeah,
guitar.
there's sort of the pressure of like being on the spot, knowing that 4 or 5 people in the room could be far better than you, and you think you're doing great, and then
Yeah.
and someone's
And the
there's
waiter
this-
serving you could be far better than you, because every service help here has got some guitar strapped on somewhere.
Yeah, true. So it's kind of a mixture of like I don't know.
It's challenging.
It's
you gotta know how to
challenging.
step up your game.
Yeah.
So you'd say
But
in
when
Arizona
it
it's kind
seems
of
like
easier to impress the audience? Or?
Yeah, maybe, or smaller towns in general.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Arizona, but just smaller towns.
Cool.
It seems like more of an exciting thing if somebody comes and plays music in their town. Whereas Nashville, there's a million things going on every night.
So there's a big appreciation for like your music when you go to a town where there's not much entertainment going on.
Right, but maybe the attitude is different there too. Like maybe people don't like songs as much, Whereas in Nashville, a good song is respected in general.
Oh, that's really interesting, isn't it? Yeah, we're getting cool responses on this interview.
So I don't know. It varies. So if you can play something that connects with people, it seems to go way better in Nashville. But you can play more, maybe
Would
sometimes.
you say, this is only your second day, right? So how, even though you came here before and kind of checked the scene out, when you say these people, they might be really better than you and everything, do you feel that it's still like a fostering atmosphere, like people respect each other and help each other out, or it's very competitive? Like, tell me what your feelings about that.
Oh yeah, actually, it is. There is sort of more of a competitive edge that I've noticed just in spending time here.
In comparison to where?
In comparison to most places that I play, honestly, there is some competitive edge, but I don't know. I think it's about kind of finding your right niche, the right group of people to sort of connect with. In particular here, I'm sure it's true for some other places too, especially busy music cities like Austin or Brooklyn or something like that. I'm sure there's like a similar feeling of competition, but I think if you can sort of find your niche, a good crew of people to sort of fall into or build from the ground up, then
it's like teamwork, basically.
it can foster itself. That's my attitude towards a lot of my other musician friends who travel a lot and frequently. Is that anytime any of us do something cool or that's sort of going to the next level or something, all the rest of us sort of want to do do the same thing or something similar or even better. So, but it's not like jealousy or rage or anger or anything like that. It's just like
spur of energy, like
it's inspiration.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know it's really mix and match down here too. I heard one gentleman say earlier, if you ask someone which band he plays in and he only says one band, he hasn't been here long.
Right.
Everybody's got 5 or 6 different bands they mix and mingle with, right? Because they've been here for a while.
Seems true.
Yeah, exactly. And people here, they're just for the love of music and just like to, try to get involved in all sorts of different projects and helping each other out too. I mean, like exchanging gear and stuff. But I wanted to go back to something, and I kind of lost track of what I wanted to say. So, can you make a joke, Mike, for the moment?
Well, I'm terrible at
What
making
was it we were
jokes.
talking about? How long ago was this? What point in the conversation?
Oh yeah, whatever. I wanted to say something like that. I wanted to say because you just said when you go to the next level. What is your next level now that you kind of settled here for a little while? What goals do you have in mind here in Nashville, and what's the time frame that you set yourself? So I'm interested in knowing how. Kind of tell the audience here on VRadio Nashville, see how musicians kind of advance their careers right on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, that's good. I have been sort of setting some goals for myself. One of my motivations for moving here is finding people who can play on my songs with me.
So,
I'm sure everybody has that idea.
Exactly, creating a band. You mean?
Yeah, a band, or at least kind of a revolving cast of characters. But I know a lot of people who play instruments really well here, and so hopefully, just to sort of getting out and about, I want to try to be active, because the town that I'm from is it's a college town, so any music scene that happens there kind of ebbs and flows,
Yeah. So when you toured by yourself, or did you have people playing with you?
Usually playing my own songs by myself, but with at least another songwriter or something like that. But I did take a band out a couple of times. But the guys in my town who would sometimes play shows with me, they all had like full-time jobs or were married or owned a house or something like that, so they weren't guys who could just like go on the road and fully throw everything into it.
Yeah.
Plus, most of them were songwriters themselves, so it's like it's a little bit different when you're just. It's really fun to like be a backup person, in somebody's band, because then you can just sort of sit back and like have fun, fewer responsibilities. Like, it's a lot of fun. But if you're sacrificing things and throwing everything that you have into it, then it's a little bit different when you're playing other people's songs. So, but I feel like there are more people in Nashville that are kind of willing to do that, and that's what they're here for.
And that's why you came here to find them.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, this is John. So cool. So do you plan?
And who knows? There may be somebody in Europe right now saying, "I got to go play with that dude."
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah. So come on down, look John up. We'll give you his contact info at the end.
Do you play? I wanted to ask you. Do you plan on releasing a CD? You have released a CD, or do you plan on doing just like singles on YouTube? Like, because right now the music industry is changing, right? So this is kind of a legitimate question.
It's an exciting time.
Exactly. It's a really exciting time, and everyone has different goals. Everyone goes about it a different way. Some people raise money through what's it called, Kickstarter or stuff like that, or they do Patreon.
A lot of strong opinions on all sides of
so I want to see a little bit what's your kind of take on that. How are you kind of foreseeing your career in the music? I mean, do you have are you gonna do the whole album, finding a label route? Are you gonna go the whole indie, let me just do my own music videos and stuff, or just tour and play for tips, or what's kind of your little background?
So for a number of years, I was just sort of selling demos out of the back of my car, just burnt CDs, that I would record for free with a friend who had some gear or something. But then 2 years ago, I put out a CD and kind of had it professionally packaged and stuff.
Nice.
And then I'm doing a.
So you did that with all self-produced?
People, like friends who were engineers and stuff. I'm not a sound engineer.
So you hired your friends to produce the album, but you didn't actually get a label to back you up on it.
It was kind of a friends collective. It was like me and friends of a couple of bands were sort of like formed a collective for a couple of years. We were putting out our own stuff under this kind of one umbrella.
Okay, so this is the tricky question. I mean, was it also an umbrella financially speaking, or was it just?
Yeah, it was.